Alright, here we are again. It's time for another Def Diary. It's been about a week since we've had the previous video regarding the performance of the game. And now with Def Diary 161, it looks like we actually have made some sort of progress. That's right. Yes, we are getting improvements in performance, or at least the team is currently investigating on how to improve performance of the game, and in that they also have added a more manpower to do all these sort of things, which is good today. They've added new people onto the team to make sure that performance of the game, probably one of their best sellers at the moment, is actually going to go well. However, there's also some news regarding the development of federations and how that is going to come together. Initially, my expectations were, all right, we'll see federations probably at the end of December. And yeah, that'll be it. That'll be good for the CPMs because, you know, making videos in December is usually a good idea if you are on YouTube and you would like to make some money every once in a while. However, it looks like the update for federations, the 2.6 update, will not be dropping in December of this year. No, the team is going to take additional time in order to release federations sometime in early 2020. And this is perfectly fine by me. And why do you ask? Why do you say this, ASpec? I want to get federations in my hands as soon as friggin' possible. Totally understandable. I don't have any problems with you saying something like that. I can totally understand that idea. However, in my personal opinion, I thought that 2.2 Le Guin, which was the Megacorp update, was rushed out a little bit too fast, and we are still dealing with some of the fallout due to this day. However, considering that is not the case, it looks like the development team is taking additional time in order to get everything up to spec and hopefully improve some of the performance of the game by the time Federations comes out. And there's a whole bunch of additional info being dumped at the same time as well. We've seen, for instance, a mega corporation, that's right, a mega corporation using mechanists, using the new Origin system, and that right there I think is really exciting. You know, I've never seen a megacorp you know, a civilization that runs themselves with the joys of mechanists. It could give them a very interesting start. You know, robots are exceptionally good at performing duties such as mining, etc., which I personally think is rather good. There is a update about what the new mega shipyard is going to look like. It looks glorious. Being able to crank out a ton of ships super quickly is going to make the game a lot more interesting. It's especially in the late game where you just need to crap out a giant fleet at a moment's notice because, oh my god, you've gone to war and you've whelped your entire fleet, and now it's time to rebuild. That is totally a thing that happens, and that's something that you want to keep your eye on. So yeah, the Mega Shipyard is definitely going to help with that. And then also we've got an update about what the Juggernauts are like. We got a nice picture from the social team being dropped as well. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like it's a reptilian one. It looks like a giant wing, and it is huge. I'm not gonna lie, it is absolutely massive. Like 10 battleships back to back massive. Which is definitely not a small thing. Let's put it that way. We should have probably. Well, let me do a quick management and upkeep of my stuff here because I got so many friggin' pops everywhere at the moment. And let me guess, they are all ruler pops, which means that they won't evolve into the appropriate strata for quite some time, which is unfortunate. Still, though, we can also take a look at some of the development. Now, the actual Def Diary touched a little bit about how development is going in the past, especially in Def Diary 149, which dropped, I think, back in May, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Let's have a quick look here. when this death diary dropped. It was May 23rd. I know why I didn't read that one, because my wife was in the midst of giving birth. So there is that. Anyway, there was quite a lot of interesting information there on how the game actually operates. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing in the game runs on something called modifiers. Now, what are modifiers? Modifiers are basically these little things over here. This is a modifier. And void loops, flagellating movement, oracle, yada yada. All of this stuff, it slowly but steadily adds stuff over time, which basically means that things can slow down, and they also affect everything in the game. It affects your planets, it affects your relationships, it affects, is related to fleets, and every single modifier obviously is gonna give a performance hit. And this flowchart that they posted is very useful, and it basically shows on how all the modifiers are calculated. But not only that, there's also this nice little graph here on how performance decreases after about 100 increases. It decreases after about 150 years, with spiking up performances because ships become a big deal, population becomes a big deal, and most importantly, what I thought was fascinating, the fact that planets become a big deal in terms of calculations. Now, I would like to point out that the engine, yes, it is in fact it is multi-threaded. It's just apparently pops take up so much resources that it may as well not be, which is a rather curious thing. I would like to say.
Construction complete.
You know, it's if a performance is just slowing down everything else, or at least everything else is waiting for that one performance because it's running on one thread, then you may as well not have it multi-threaded. At least, you know, it makes no logical sense. But sadly enough, they won't be able to. At least I don't think without a massive engine rewrite, be able to completely negate this problem, which is a bit of a shame, but there's not much we can do about it at this point. Let me have a quick look here at the sanctuary. We're building research segments here. We got food segments, and this commercial segment's going to come online soon as well. But yeah, it's just very difficult to say what we can expect from these performance increases, or if there is actually going to be any. Because there is just so many questions on what is going to be possible on the current version of the engine. Now, there's still quite a lot to talk about. It's good to see that the developers are reaching out and saying, "Look, we hear what you have to say, and we would like to reach out our hands and tell you that yes, we are working on it actively, etc., etc., etc. We're delaying federations. That's all perfectly fine. I've got no problems with it." I think it was Miyamoto who said, "The late game is eventually good, but a rushed game is bad forever." Now, obviously, he plays on. He's usually working on consoles, so patches are a little bit different. So, but in this particular case, considering Federations is going to be released at a slightly later date than expected, perfectly fine by me, because the late game is eventually good. Now that Stellaris is not a good game, it is amazing to me, and I love every single moment of playing of it. But hey, the statement itself still has a certain level of value attached to it. Can I declare war on these guys? No, but I can insult them. Yes. The average IQ of both empires would increase. That is amazing. Anyway, we're gonna go wrap this one up here. I know that the information that we have for this week is a little bit minimal, but the fact that the devs are reaching out and saying, "Hey, we hear you, we know what's going on, we're going to take a look at it, see if we can improve your life." But on top of that, it means that there will be not an expansion in December. Lithoids will help for now. It also means that I may need to put in some product placement in December just to fill that gap. So if we see any product placement in any videos coming up, yeah, that was to be expected. Anyway, we're going to go wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves. And as always, get ready for Federations coming 2020.